Hello, this is James Arthur Ray, the author of the New York Times bestseller, Harmonic Wealth. And I want to talk to you about two topics today, personal development and mastery. And I'm going to suggest to you that these two are congruent. While they're not equal, they're not the same, there is a similarity. There may be close cousins or sister studies. Let's talk about personal development first. What I'm going to submit to you is that personal development is absolutely necessary, and yet it's incomplete. Now, you like me know that personal development is about development, advancement, and growth of yourself personally. And I will tell you without question that for your results to grow, you must grow because your results are a reflection of you. However, if you've been listening to me over the last year, you know that I'm very passionate about a topic and a concept that I have coined called innate ability development. And I'm going to submit to you that innate ability development, while it might be under the umbrella of personal development, it's much more laser focused and specialized. See, personal development is broad. You can grow in a multitude of areas, but innate ability development is to find your unique genius, your innate abilities, and to develop those to the fullest, to develop a level of mastery. And I'm going to submit to you in a big, bold statement that until you find your innate abilities, your unique genius and purpose, you may not ever, if ever, develop any level of mastery. Now, you see, my research and experience proves that you come into this world with certain talents, abilities, and what Howard Gardner from Harvard University calls a unique genius. Gardner submits that you are a genius in one of 8 areas that he has defined. I'm not going to get into those 8 areas here. I've done that elsewhere, and you can check that out on my website if you're interested. But when you zero in on your innate abilities, then someone asked me, well, James, if I have innate abilities, why do they have to be developed? Well, that person doesn't really get it. Because just because you have an innate ability or a talent doesn't mean that you developed mastery. You with me? Mastery comes from deliberate practice. You know, Michelangelo said, if people knew how hard I worked to develop my mastery, it wouldn't seem so wonderful at all. There's a book by Geoff Colvins called Talent is Overrated, and he studied all these individuals who developed high levels of mastery in their particular area. And what he found is that almost without exception, in fact, without exception, all of them had a high degree of what he calls deliberate practice, and it happened over 20 years. You with me? Now, we live in a quick fix society. We want instant gratification, instant results for minimal effort and minimal expenditure of energy and minimal input. It just doesn't work that way. You see, for you to develop any level of mastery, it takes deliberate practice over a 20-year period. And some say 10. All right, let's go with 10. Let's cut ourselves some slack, but still yet, are you willing to deliberately practice your craft, your skills, your ability, sometimes with very little return that you can observe in the physical world, over a 20-year period, over a 10-year period? Are you willing to have delayed gratification of those physical results? Because if you study Michelangelo, if you study great artists, great writers, great poets, great individuals of tremendous impact in the world, what you will find consistently is that they did not make their tremendous impact instantaneously, not even over 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 years minimum, but often over 20 years, and in many, if not most cases, after they were already out of this physical life. You see, the beginner thinks about proximity. What can I get right here, right now? The master, on the other hand, thinks in terms of eternity. Not what can I get today, but what can I do today that will impact the world 50 years from today? Maybe even possibly after I'm gone. Are you willing to develop mastery? Are you willing to find your innate abilities, your unique genius, and then live that purpose. Because to the degree you do not fulfill your purpose, there's a void in the universal plan. So my work is about helping you find your innate abilities, your unique genius, and your purpose in this lifetime. And then I will tell you, you must commit to deliberate practice over a long period of time. Small things done consistently create major impact over time. I hope I've given you some things to think about. Find your innate abilities. Zero in more specifically, not just personal development, but my innate ability development, my unique genius. How can I use that, leverage that to provide more value in the world in this unique time in which we live? And can I, will I, must I commit to mastery? Deliberate practice consistently over a long period of time, in fact, as long as it takes. Can you do it? If you can, which you can, if you will, which is the question, you'll make an impact that lives long beyond your years. And that, my friend, is a lasting legacy. Stay awake until we talk again. Love life and be epic.